Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
You're watching Tanner's Haunted Secrets
on the Outline Network.
What they say.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's a secret sound hidden deep within the center of the earth. Until you listen closely enough, you can hear it. And it sounds like razors through flesh. We are merely here to turn up the volume.
Hello and welcome to Chainer's Haunted Secrets. I'm Pyle and I am super excited because I'm here at Midwest Hunters Convention. Yeah, I'm in the Chicago area, but with this convention, there is so many wonderful things and you get to meet so many wonderful people and you can have them in the same room as you. But you know what? We got to go through this once again. I'm glad that Dr. Raz, is here with us, and I am really glad that Friday was able to clear out her schedule. That way we could make this wonderful video for you guys. But we have Nikki Hook and John Hook here with us, and Nikki is from Haunted Hurrah, which is in Ohio. Yeah, I'm partial, but don't worry because I've been talking to a whole bunch of haunters, and I can't wait to bring them all on the show. So Nikki, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I actually stumbled across MHC through a news thing that they did on it years ago for Columbus, and went because it looked fun, and here I am like 20 years later. I'm part of OHA, the Ohio Hunters Association, and I've worked for Hoorah for 3 years now. This will be my third year. And then I'm an avid hunt goer as well.
Which is wonderful. I'll tell you. Now, John, I know you're not a haunter.
Yeah.
But we're going to get you in the haunt industry one way or another because this podcast is all about haunt industry. And being a person that's not a haunter, our wonderful Friday here, she is not a haunter, but she loves the industry so much. What is one thing that you really like about the industry?
I really enjoy the craft side of it. I liked woodwork, and to find out how sets are built and to see how they connect together, how they're used, how behind the scenes, how things are crafted, that always interests me more than the fright factor or anything like that. So as a craftsman, it's very enjoyable for that, see everything get set up, see how things are taken down, moved. And there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot of quick fixes, things that make you think how to use things differently, because in the hunting world, things are not normally used the way they're supposed to be used. But that's what I've enjoyed about it.
He's been a great help building my yard hunt.
Well, that's a great thing because you're not just a hunter, you're a home hunter too.
Yep.
So if you guys live together and you both live at the same residence that makes a home hunt, you're a home hunter.
Yes, you
I guess
are.
by default I'm a home run.
See, I knew you were a hunter down deep. So, I'm just really grateful that you guys could come in, talk to us, and explain a little bit about you guys. And you've been to MHC before.
Yes.
What are you excited to see at MHC this year?
I love actually seeing all the vendors and talking to them and seeing what's new every year, see what's coming down the pipe, see what people are bringing into the industry. There's just so many neat people to talk to and, get to know, and probably one of the friendliest groups of people I've ever met.
And I imagine she just threw you in the luggage, right?
Pretty much.
But Raz, if you've not known, he is one of the people from Hell's Dungeon. And you know what? I got to sport Hell's Dungeon right here. I'm wearing my Hell's Dungeon shirt. I've been wearing it all day while setting up.
Yeah, man. I caught that when you were turning on the camera today. I was like, oh, extreme close-up of one of the Hell's Dungeon logos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I will tell you, I just love everything about MHC. And I'm really grateful that, we have nice facilities that we can rent and we can stay really close to the convention here.
Yeah.
So Friday, do you have something?
You were talking about how you had made things that weren't normally used for the things that were being used for in your props. Do you have a favorite homemade prop that you made?
We crafted a fence. It's a PVC, made out of PVC and wood, and fence set up that went around the house that was real enough that most people didn't realize it wasn't, metal. That and a lot of the tombstone work really interests me. But
So I will tell you, earlier we were having this little conversation and you were showing me a picture. If you Google her house,
Yes.
it's got all the Halloween display up. And that is usually how people track her down to bring packages. So they know that she's a home hunter.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at my house has a skeleton that is in a rocking chair. It's been there for years, and everybody just goes, okay. Well, you know what? If you're a hunter, you love it so much, and MHC is one of those places that you get to talk to hunters, get to see what's going on. Oh, man. I cannot wait for you guys to see this wonderful tunnel into MHC.
Yeah, the tunnel's pretty cool.
It is absolutely beautiful. And, there's so much here at MHC, and I can't wait for me to share it with all you guys.
It's like a whole room of eye candy.
It's MHC is also one of those places that it's open to the public. You can come, you can go, you can see. They got a lot of cash and carry, which is wonderful,
That's kind of what their bread and butter is the cash and carry.
Right. You can place orders for stuff, but MHC is one of those things that we absolutely love coming to. We love seeing it. Raz, you're going to show up one of these times. I don't care if you got to be on my carry-on.
Someday.
They also have a good class schedule.
Yeah.
For
Right.
acting,
They have
prompts.
seminars that go through Saturday and Sunday. And I can't wait. I'm going to have to figure out how to get Kevin in here, because one of the things that Kevin does is our schedule is just not meeting, but
Yeah.
Kevin is a wonderful guy. He's actually in charge of the Chicago Zombie March. They'll have the zombie walk tomorrow, and we will make sure that we share that, because there's a lot to MHC, I'll tell you.
There is.
So let's get into a little more of you being a hunter. What got you started? I know what got you started. She just ripped you into it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Kicking and screaming the whole way.
Oh, of course. Well, I always kind of liked Halloween, and starting about high school, I started doing like big Halloween parties, and I liked the fact that like unlike other holidays like Christmas, there wasn't the stress and the pressure of gift buying and everything has to look perfect, and it could just be whatever I wanted it to be. Some years it was big, other years it was small, and then when I moved in with him, Haunted Hoorah is actually 2 miles from our house. So I went and I applied, and
So that's why you chose it.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, they're literally within walking distance of our house.
I mean, some people, they have a calling to a haunt, and some people create a haunt or this and that. And I'm really glad that you found one just because it was around the corner.
Well, it's one of those. There's others I would have liked to work for, but most of them were an hour longer drive. And Fridays I go into work at 3 a.m. So then driving an hour to a haunt, working till 2, 3 a.m., and then driving an hour home just wasn't really feasible with my work schedule. So the 2 mile marker was kind of nice because I can make it work with my normal job that pays bills.
Right.
Gotta find that balance.
Yes, you do.
So you are also one of the people that's in charge of this great thing called Ohio Haunters Association.
Yes.
You've got to be in charge of one of the worst parts, the finances.
Well, they make it pretty easy on me, but there are days where it can be a little stressful.
So I know that OHA is going to be going ahead and having a little team up with a July haunt.
Yes.
Well, not July haunt. Let me correct that. It is Halloween in July.
Yes.
It's like a little sale, right?
Yeah, it's like a little mini convention, I guess I would call it, where they have vendors and whatnot. It's all outside. I believe it's in the Circleville area, which is where they do the pumpkin festival every fall.
Which is wonderful. And
yes.
To my knowledge, there's going to be a couple of haunts that are coming in and bringing some of their characters.
Yes.
I'll tell you, when it comes down to OHA, you guys just seem like you guys are absolutely trying to get into every single thing, dealing with the haunt industry, dealing with the Halloween season.
I mean, it's one of those, we really want to celebrate Halloween, and we want people who love Halloween in different ways to have some place to come. So whether you're a pro haunter, a home haunter, we just want everybody to feel comfortable coming, knowing that there's a group that supports them. If they have questions or need help and they ask it, we usually try to help and, try to pass information along. And we usually do lists of Ohio haunts every fall, and we'll usually put on our Facebook page like off-season haunt days, and we've tried doing like lists of home haunts in the fall. So just try to support everybody in the industry.
I think that's really wonderful. Mr. Dr. Raz, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, I'm interested in a little bit more about what's going on in July. I've never been to this before, but I've heard about it. But I've now been tasked with appearing as Beetlejuice for the show and bringing some of my rejects down from Hell's Dungeon. So that all the more information we can get out there about it, the better.
Yeah, that I've not been to this one. I believe Max was at it last year and had a table at it last year. I'm hoping to make it this year. We'll see. I've got another commitment in the morning. But it went really well. They had a really good turnout. They had a lot of vendors. Max said they had a lot of people show up just walking around. So sounds like it's doing good, and hopefully it'll continue. It's something a little closer for those in the southern part of the state instead of the Cleveland Hunt Club, which we love them and we love their halfway to Halloween stuff, but sometimes for people in the southern part of the state, it can be a little difficult to make.
3 to 6 hour drive can be tough.
And absolutely, our state's not as big as this state called Texas.
No.
Right Friday, but we give ourselves a workout trying to get to our fellow haunts, and I will tell you that I've not been to this event before. Never really heard of it. I've seen
fairly young still.
I've seen where it got scrolled through and said, "Hey, you might be interested in this." When they talked to me, I was very interested because I want to see what it does. So Chainer is supposed to be showing up, but Chainer's one of those characters that if he's not on his best behavior, he just needs to get pulled away in chains.
Yeah, crowds can be a bit of an
so he's planning on being there. We don't guarantee that just because, but Chainer's Haunted Secrets will be there to support OHA and anything that they need.
And we appreciate that. We love how supportive the community in general is, and we've had lots of support, and you're one of the big supporters, and we appreciate it.
Big, as in like I'm big, I'm heavy. I know, right?
Yep. You know how to throw your weight around.
Yes. Well, you know what? This is the first time that we've done any kind of podcast on Chainer's Haunted Secrets to actually show how big I actually am. Usually it's this and that's it. That's it. But you know what? I'm very glad that, we have this opportunity, and MHC's one of the places that I can actually just go, hey, and just grab people and throw them in a chair and go, you're going to be on in 5, 4, 3, and do it.
And most people are happy to do so.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know I've been talking to a lot of different people, and some people say, oh, I'm not into it. You know what? Outlight Network, we've got books. Oh. We'll talk about that. D&D. By the way, you are a D&D person, and that's what she grabbed me and brought me into last year, by the way, Raz.
Yep, he dropped off food and I was in the middle of playing with we have a group that plays every Saturday, and I was playing, we had the video up and playing through the video. Yep,
I was so confused, it's not even funny, and I watched some of ours on Outlight Network, and I'm still confused, Raz.
So,
but it's okay.
What's your favorite class and why is it Bard?
What's my favorite class and why is it Bard? Actually, my favorite class so far would probably be the Witch. I actually played a Witch 1 to 20. It was my first 1 to 20, and we played that campaign for 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. And that character is the inspiration for my costume for tomorrow night's ball.
Oh, okay. So basically what you're telling me is we need to make sure that we get photos of that.
Yes.
So are you playing 5th edition, I take it?
Pathfinder. First edition Pathfinder.
Okay. Good. So basically that's like the continuation of 3.5.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We dabbled in this, but we with our group, it just Pathfinder flows better for us.
You're certainly playing a better edition, I assure you. I run 5th because it's easier with the just the add-ons, not the digital aspect. Of those, but
a lot easier. A lot of ways.
Pathfinder is better. What do you think about the new edition coming out? The D&D for all edition.
I haven't really looked into it at all. I mean, sad to say, just haven't had really time to get into anything new. Just kind of playing as normal and.
Yeah, you guys might like it. It's not officially out yet. They're in the process of rolling it out. It's going to be the last edition of D&D ever made, incorporating the best of every edition that came before it and working on a lot of the bugs. So it's kind of exciting to read about it. So far, all I've done is read about it. But yeah, we're super excited about how it goes.
Yeah, I'm always I started in 2nd edition, and then played through all the editions and just kind of. Depending on who's playing what, I still play 2nd edition games just because I have people that are that old that I want to play 2nd edition again. I'm like, okay, let's do Thanko. Yeah.
So you remember how I felt last year? This is how I feel right now. I have no idea what you're talking about. But I'm glad that you guys enjoy stuff, and knowing Raz enjoys it so much that we need to make a whole campaign thing about it.
Yeah.
I'm still, I will share it.
Listen, if you need help, we can help you figure it out.
Dude, I was always told, worst case scenario, make everything burn.
Yeah, that's fireball for the win.
The first time he brought me to our D&D group, our game master, our GM, looked at me and goes, "What are you doing with him?" And then the first game I played, he rolled me up a barbarian, which is pretty much you run up and you hit stuff. Point blank, you run up and you hit stuff. The GM asked me a question. I was like, I go up and I punch it. And he's like, and there it is. That's why you're with him.
So, Friday, you've been pretty quiet there. I come on, you got something to say.
Oh yeah, I did. I wanted to carry on with the Chainers thing. Pyle is a teddy bear. Chainers is a bear.
Well, as I am looking at the screen, I am coming to realize I am not exactly a teddy bear as much as I am golden brown on top, and I am white because I never wear shorts. And here I am wearing shorts, and I am so white, it makes my wife look dark.
What shorts are those, Pyle?
What's that?
Are those the adventure shorts?
No, the adventure shorts are in there. I know. You probably got your adventure shorts on.
Not right
when
now.
He was probably like, I gotta change into my shorts now.
No, I'm saving those for Sunday.
But so as we're getting back into everything that is the haunt industry, what you've been here a couple of times. What do you think about all the vendors that we have here?
I actually really enjoy most of the vendors. I love, we were some of the first people on the floor today, and a lot of the vendors hadn't started showing up yet. But just walking through and seeing the names and, knowing who they were and what they sell, and, it was kind of neat. And then I was able to sit there and go, oh, they're new. I wonder what they sell. And, oh, they're new. I wonder what they're selling. And happy to see a lot of the return vendors. I know for a couple years after they moved to Chicago, it was a little rough. So.
Right. And whenever you go and you move a convention from one area to another, it really gives the opportunity for some people to make stuff and get there, and then it kind of takes it away, unfortunately. But there's a lot of vendors that go in. They go to Transworld, and when they go to Transworld, they have the biggest stuff. And when they come to MHC, they have some of their smaller stuff, which is really great because it gets an opportunity. I personally cannot buy the $13,000 giant troll that they had one year, but I can absolutely buy some of the masks that they bring to MHC.
Yep, some of my favorite stuff is stuff that I bought at MHC that I put out in my yard. And it's just, it was stuff that, hey, I like that. Hey, I can afford that. I'm going to get that, And
I will tell you something I noticed today as we were on the floor, we were setting up, I was setting up Wicked Effects. These guys were helping. If you don't know who Wicked FX is, apparently you haven't watched any of our shows. So Wicked Effects was putting together all their stuff, and I was looking around, and this is the time that vendors can go on the show floor and kind of see what people are pulling out. There is a pumpkin with legs.
Beautiful.
There is a pumpkin with legs, and I don't know who's got it because he didn't have the sign up yet, but there was pumpkin with legs. And we're going to make sure that we get a picture of the beautiful pumpkins with legs because I think that their feet were a little grosser than mine.
On one of our walks between the hotel and the convention center, we passed a group of 7 people. I missed what group they were with, but every last one of them was carrying 1 to 2 gallons of Froggy's Fog. And I was like, someone went to Froggy's.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Tater has made comments how he's willing to be on the show, and I can't wait to have Tater. But like I've told him, we've got to wait a little bit. We can't have the ace in the hole to throw on the table first. And he's here. He's already seen me. He's already started smiling.
I actually think he's doing one of the buses tonight for the bus.
Oh, yeah?
I heard bus 2.
I don't know. I've seen enough glasses in his hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, MHC is one of the times that hunters can get together. They can talk to each other. They can kind of mingle, figure out what haunts are doing. We will see characters on the floor.
Yes.
And
there's actually a whole section of like haunted houses.
Yeah.
That'll have characters on the floor this year.
Yeah, we can't wait to see all the characters. We can't wait to talk to them and see,
Well, not to mention just people coming in costume.
Right.
Just because you're allowed to come in costume both days. So,
right.
Some of the costumes people bring are amazing.
All right. I mean, tonight they will be doing, right now is Friday.
Yeah.
And tonight they will be doing the bus tour that takes it to Hell's Gate.
Yep.
This is a haunt that I can't wait to get into. I want to see, I'm going to get some photos, but I'm sure I will not get photos as we go through. Yeah. But I want to see their characters. I want to see everything that they do.
Well, and I love that after we go through, because they're supposed to have the tour with the actors and then a lights on tour, and then you can ask actors and people behind the scenes questions, which is amazing that you get to ask, hey, how'd you do that? Like, what's this made out of? These bus tours are one of the only times that they'll let you actually touch the sets and learn how it works.
Last year we went and it was Juliet Prison here in the Chicago area. And that is such a beautiful prison. And we even made the comment, man, that looks really real on all that razor wire. And he made a comment, because that's real. And that's the original. Just like we had Vic on here 2 weeks ago. Vic was talking, he was talking about how much stuff is actually still there. And this is one of the things. Haunts will take stuff and they will make sure that they're safe. And it's great to make stuff safe, but they want to show off what it was and what it is.
Yes.
So,
and they want to make it their own.
They do. And that's a wonderful thing. A lot of places, they want their characters. They love seeing their own characters be created.
Yes.
Friday, you look like you're ready to bust at the seams once again with something.
Oh yeah, she was talking about scenes, and I wanted to find out what either of their favorite scenes were, either that they've made or acted in or have seen at any point in their haunting career.
So a single scene, I would have to say, in Carnage, which is no longer going to be around. She had a New Orleans cemetery scene that you would walk through. And hands down, that has been my favorite scene. Now, a few years ago when HauntCon was in New Orleans, Tater got a group of us a lights on tour of haunt down there that just was amazing. Like, they literally had a pirate ship that when you went on it, it was a full-size pirate ship and it would rock back and forth. And they had Munchkin Land. They had scenes from Wizard of Oz, and for some reason, I don't know why, it worked.
I know a lot of friends in the past that could make a Munchkin scene work really well.
Well, what baffled me was you went from this Wizard of Oz series of rooms to an ice cave with a full-size mammoth, and for whatever reason, that flow worked.
That would be one thing I would want to see.
Yeah.
Because I don't see how it. And when you're in the haunt industry, that is one of the things. You gotta make sure that things flow.
Yeah.
If it doesn't flow, you got to move it down the line, or you got to rework it. Exactly, and that's one of the biggest things.
And we, again, like I said, we went through without actors. It was just lights on, and it still worked. So they are actually one of the ones I would love to see with actors, because it was so amazing without, you know. But I like to, in general, I like to see a haunt with actors to get the full experience before I like pick a favorite scene, or, you know, this is going back, but Scaratorium, back when that was still around. And they were one of the first haunts I went to multiple times. At one year they had a room, and it was a black room, and you could see like the doorway on the other side. And it was just a black room with a strobe light. And you walk across the room towards the door. Well, there was an actor in a black cloak that was completely hidden because of the strobe light until he turned around and you could see his mask.
Oh, wow.
And he can attest, I don't jump much. That was one of the few times they actually got a jump scare on me.
That's amazing.
And it was such a simple scene, but it stuck out to me because it worked.
What about you? You've been quiet, and we know how we like to pick on the people that are quiet.
So, what was the one we went to for St. Patty's Day?
That was Wells Township.
That one had they had a mirror maze in it. And then the ending sequence in Haunted Hoorah, where you sit down, that was such a trippy experience.
Yeah, we have like a pod that you sit down in and you close, and they've got like a screen that plays a clip. And you're supposedly coming up from 77 stories below the earth up to, you know, ground level. And the whole pod shakes and moves.
Yeah, I mean, it was very interestingly done, and I enjoyed it.
You know, that's one of the things about haunts. I don't care how many times you get one thing and you stick it in the area. It's never going to be the same. No scene's ever going to be the same. No. I don't care what you do. You can make the room look exactly the same. Once that actor gets in there, it's totally different. Yep. And that's one of the best things about the haunt industry, is that you can make it your own.
Exactly.
And that's so much of a wonderful thing that we do with the haunt industry. I mean, I've made Chainer so fluent, he could rock it outside with his chainsaw, make you pass out, and in 15 minutes he could be put inside and handing out samples of Grandpa.
Well, and like this past year, because since I work at Hoorah, I don't get to go through as many haunts as I used to. Chainer's was actually the one we went to this past year.
And I really thank you. That evening I was pretty busy. I didn't get a chance to say nothing too much.
But we enjoyed it. We were really impressed, and we really enjoyed it. And, you know, definitely would go back. So, and that,
you know, we have free tickets right there on that table there.
You know, we used free tickets last time, buddy.
I know. But and Friday, calm down. Just calm down.
I know, she's jumping.
I know. I feel like you got something else to say.
Oh, I have plenty of things to say. I'm just trying to add them in the conversation as we go through, because I have millions of questions for all four of you. And this is one that I wanted to ask all four.
Right.
One. Listen, I figured it was to go to the room.
Haunting is, you're in a live situation. Everything's always changing. People are always coming in. Even if you're just building it, nothing always goes to plans because stuff happens. And my dad, as a haunter, as a trucker, as a bouncer at a bar, he always said you have to be able to improvise, adapt, and overcome, like he did in the military. What is your favorite improvise, adapt, and overcome story of something that just happened and you were so flabbergasted, but you had to figure out how to do something then in the haunt happening?
So this wasn't like a huge one, but Hoorah is military themed, and we have lots of blood and guts around it. I had last year they did like a low lights theme. So everybody, one person in every group had a flashlight, and that was pretty much the only light in the haunt. And so I was planning my jump scares by the flashlights coming through because I couldn't really see. And I come out of my hidey hole, and there's this person with this probably 4-month-old baby in a harness on their chest. And I was just like, and the baby was like right in front of me, and I'm like, I don't really want to scare a baby. Like, they let this kid through here. And so like I moved my attention to someone else in the group, but that just kind of threw me that they had a kid that young in the line. Like,
maybe they actually like loud noises.
maybe. Well, no, I will say that they did have like the noise canceling headphones on the baby because, as you know, Hoorah can get kind of
They can't get
noisy. So
Do you have one? Because I'm kind of curious.
Oh.
Please tell me it wasn't popping up behind a tombstone in your front yard.
No, I think the only thing I've really ever had to do is try adapt sets at the house. Things break, things.
You helped Ryan and Kelly with that stuff too.
I've helped Ryan and Kelly. They have a home haunt, and things just happen. You fix them on the fly. It doesn't matter if it's a screw, a nail, or glue. You kind of adapt. You'd be surprised that the fence we had.
Our
Kids think they're real fences. They're not. Yeah. They climb on them. Yeah, things happen.
We both got a kick. Our original fence that Ryan and Kelly had given to us was like knee high, and it kind of fell apart because it was old. And so we put it out in the trash when we made the new one that we made last year. We sat in our living room cracking up because the number of scrappers that pulled up to the curb thinking it was real metal, and they would pick it up, and half of them would just start cursing when they realized it wasn't metal, it was wood and PVC.
I stopped for wood and PVC.
That's actually really funny. Raz, I want to hear what you got on that question.
What about the scrapper stuff?
No, having something that has happened at a haunt that you really had to overcome because it just didn't happen right.
Oh man, I've talked about this a little bit before, but this one went viral and got really big on YouTube thanks to Scare Factor. So we did our Christmas show 2 years ago, and we've been doing it the whole time, but the one 2 years ago, I was all decked out as this. It's like a Dickens type character, but I had I was all frostbitten and everything, and I was doing these like little messed up Christmas carols that's supposed to lead people through this cool lantern like I'd done the year before. But we have what we call the steps to hell on your way in, because you actually have to descend steps from the parking lot and go underground, because we are the entire basement level of a strip mall. It's huge. And so it takes a while to get down these stairs. I was trying to run down real quick. I was up top handling something. I came down, got about halfway down, and fell. I tripped on something and fell down the stairs, and I was in so much pain I couldn't move much. I couldn't do what I needed to do, but we also didn't have someone in that spot. So I checked my pockets. I stood up. Everybody checked on me. I'm like, yeah, I'm not okay, but I'm okay for tonight. I'll worry about it later. I started digging around my pockets, because that's my first instinct. Like, do I have anything on me that I can, improv with? Because I just stuff random shit from behind my pockets sometimes. And I had someone's socks in my pocket. I'm not sure why. They were clean socks, thank God. And it's like, okay. I put some googly eyes on one of those Christmas socks, and I got myself a stool. And the way the curtains were set up in this area, I can move the stool short distances to pop out of different places. So sure enough, J.A. Sock was born, also known as Just a Sock. And I both terrified and delighted many customers, including our owner, Fred. I actually had the sock jump scare the shit out of him. He jumped about a foot in the air, and all I did was pop out and go, jump scare. That was it. It's like, he jumps. He freaks. Says, "Wait, did that sock just say jump scare?" And then, of course, the Scare Factor folks got me with the dirty limericks and songs that my character was singing, and I'd be like, come here," and they'd come over to the sock, and he'd talk to him. So that was my way of adapting until someone decided they were in love with the sock and made out with the sock, and that was uncomfortable for all of us.
Yeah,
And that's how all good things.
Yeah.
That's how all good things.
It's all fun and games until somebody made out with the sock.
Oh yeah, but if you go to YouTube and type in Hell's Dungeon, you'll see look for the Christmas. We have a couple different Christmas videos on there from Scare Factor, but just look through them because you'll know it when you see it. You'll know it when you see
I remember those videos because I watched those videos.
So I do have a story. This was back from Sydney Haunted Woods. And when you bring someone through a haunt, be a kid or whatever, you expect them to get scared and then absolutely try coping with it themselves, right? The way that this child was coping with it was really entertaining to me. But when her dad did something, it just took me out of place totally. So when I went ahead and Chainer came busting out, he had the sign all fired up, and he goes and he crinked his neck a little bit, and he turned off the saw, and he started walking up to her, really getting her attention. And she goes and just holds herself and goes, Jesus is with me. She repeats this about 5 times, which, you know what? It's great. And then I looked at her, I said, you know what? And she goes, what? I said, he's with me too. No, he's not. No, he's not. No. I said, uh-huh. Oh, yes, he is. Her father pulled out a mini little orange Bible, looked at me and goes, have you heard the good word? And instantly, I went to Scooby-Doo. Yeah, there's cookies. It's all that processed in my brain for me to say, as Thomas Chainer, yeah, there's cookies. Is exactly what I said. And he was more horrified that Scooby-Doo came out than she was at that point. He was just like, I think we need to go. I think we need to go. I said, no, let's stay. Let's have some fun. Maybe we'll solve a mystery together. And he was freaked out. I do have another special guest if she would like to say hi.
Hi.
You gotta get,
Get closer. Hey.
You're acting like Kelly on Haunt Chat.
But that's one of the things. You know what? Do you know who is in the van?
I know.
We need to get Trevor. Trevor is in the van. I think he's eating all the snacks, but I'm sure we will get pictures of Trevor doing stuff at MHC.
We were promised Trevor videos actually on one of our shows on air one day. We were promised videos of Trevor. So
now that has to happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there will be Trevor, and hopefully Trevor can keep his hands to himself.
I think you're expecting a lot.
Have you seen Trevor? Oh geez, we're at the point where she's watched enough that she knows who Trevor is. Trevor's not nice. But anyway, no. Going back to here we are at MHC. I can't wait until the show floor opens. It opens at 8 o'clock tomorrow, right? 9.
9 to 5 tomorrow, 10 to 3 Sunday.
Okay. And then as soon as they are shut down, we've got to do the wonderful thing of packing up and throwing everything in vehicles and making a mad dash to this magical place called Ohio.
Yes. Back to the good state.
You know, every state has their good.
They do.
But we just have over 130 reasons that you need to come see us in October.
Exactly.
But I only want to see like 4 of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, she wants to see ours.
She should.
She wants to see.
She should come through Hoorah.
You know what? We just need to get you on a plane and fly you to Dayton.
Yeah.
We fly you to Dayton. We'll hijack you, bring you through
Work your way up through the state.
Oh yeah. We'll just pass you from haunter couch to haunter couch.
Yes. Hey, we'll even upgrade you. We have a spare bed.
I'm going to
epic.
downgrade you. I got a spare cot in the basement.
The caveat to the spare bed is because of him, she gets the dog for the night.
There you go.
Oh, jeez. But no,
I'll bring my
I just.
Charlie Brown.
So Friday, I'm very glad that you have this wonderful outlook because once again, we've talked about this. Friday is usually that person that doesn't haunt, so she wants to know about the industry and she wants to come to Ohio. And the thing is, we need to go and find some haunts down in Texas. That way she can relate to the haunts down in Texas
Yes.
on this podcast because I don't know much about the ones down in Texas.
I know of one. That's Dark Hour.
Okay, Dark Hour.
That's about the only one I know of off the top of my head.
Well, we'll have to figure out if we can figure out to get Dark Hour on here because honestly, you know.
He's here, you know.
Is he?
Alan Hops, he's here.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
We just might make something happen.
There's
Really?
a lot of great haunts in Texas,
Well,
actually. Just
I don't know
not
if you
Amy or
saw
Jenny.
the Facebook post. Alan Hops and Ed Edmonds are doing a mask painting competition tomorrow.
No,
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, they're competing to see who can speed paint like 50 some masks, and then they'll pass them out to the crowd tomorrow on the
Ooh.
stage.
I know MHC's got some, or I know that OHA has some wonderful prizes that they're going to be giving away.
Yep.
And I just can't wait. I know that I'm super excited for everything. Oh, she's gonna sneak through. She's been waiting for this. Unfortunately, at conventions, another thing happens, and you always have to figure out how to get food.
Yes.
So our food just got dropped off, and April looked like a gazelle.
Because you'll learn buying food on the convention floor is not worth it.
It is so expensive. I would say that there is quality.
I don't know.
Good.
Asking $10 for a hot dog seems a little much to me.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for
The cost of food.
yeah, you're gonna pay for what it is. But you know, I'm just really glad that we're here at MHC. We did do some wonderful things. Now I'm gonna say, Raz, you're pretty quiet. I know you ain't got nothing going on in your thought process, but
I've broken in a bunch of times, actually. I was saying a minute ago, there's actually a bunch of haunts in Texas. None of them are actually close to Jenny because what people forget is Texas is like hardest to drive through. It's fucking enormous. And with all the haunts there are near her, there's actually only 3 within anywhere near her, and they were all still like close to an hour drive away. I know because I look them up for her every year.
right.
Oh, yeah.
I think the furthest I've taken you outside of MHC would
Yeah.
be Dent. So
Right.
about
Well,
2.5,
Pyle,
3 hour drive.
The magic number everybody talks about being how many haunts there are in Ohio, it's actually a little bit more than triple that. The reason why is because the majority of the haunts in Ohio are not registered businesses.
Correct.
A lot of them are pop-up charities or just pop-up haunts, period. Just about every small town has a haunted junkyard, a haunted hayride, a haunted something.
I mean, we
And you
have
don't-
like 4 or 5 haunted trails around us that don't
Yeah,
show
yeah.
up on the list.
Oh yeah, there's
Right.
a number there in Marion, like a ton of them, and that's the cool thing
Yeah.
about it. Like, if you want to find a cool haunt in Ohio, yeah, look at the listings, go to like all the ones that are listed, but take a couple weekends and just drive around back roads in small towns. You will find.
Yeah. And now I did find last year I stumbled across a free app called Fright Maps, and you can literally put your like haunted yard on there, and you can look and see where all the others are, and it's completely free.
Is that just for
It's,
your
no, like
home house haunts, or is it for big ones?
both.
Really?
Yeah.
It started as an app for escape rooms, actually. The owner creator is actually there right now at
Like-
Midwest.
This is the Chicago area, and each icon is like a different type of haunt.
Okay, this is pretty cool. I've not seen this.
This is
And-
the app that we've been trying to tell you about for a while, actually. The They're actually there right now. They're at the con right now because they posted on all their social media that they're going to be there talking to people this weekend.
Wonderful.
But, that's someone we definitely want to get a hold of and talk to, for a show. But yeah, they started off doing just escape rooms out in California and then expanded. And they've just been expanding more and more and more. I can tell you that Hell's Dungeon is on Fright Maps.
Yeah.
The second and got
Are you
posted.
ready on there?
Yep, they were asking for haunts, and I got us on there like within days of them posting about wanting the people.
Yeah. And if you tap on the icon, it tells you the name, their dates, and I think their prices if they have a price.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really amazing. It's skyrocketed, honestly. Like I hope this app continues to grow because I think it's going to be a big boost to our industry.
Yes. Yes.
I will tell you, we discussed at Chainer's Haunt or Chainer's Field of Screams that we were going to change the price. We're going to make it bigger, and what we're going to do is we're going to go from $10 to $12.
Perfectly reasonable. I would have paid $12 last year.
But I'm such a giving guy, and it is a charity haunt, and I want to do so many wonderful things that I wanted to keep the price going where it was a little bit. So we decided that we were going to do $12. But if you go on and you're able to find where there is going to be on the internet $2 off tickets, you can get $2 off of each ticket if you show us. Could it get better? Yeah, because we are a person that donates food to food banks. So everybody has an opportunity to bring in a non-perishable item. When they bring in a non-perishable item, they get $2. So if you do both of those, you get $4, which is cheaper than it was last year. Why am I so crazy? I don't know. I want people to come to our
That's why
haunt.
we love you, Pyle.
Because it makes no sense what I do, I swear.
Hey, you're a slasher, all right? Slashing prices is a job.
Yeah.
Good Shaun of the reference. Shaun of the Dead reference.
Well, you also gotta watch out for them slashers gone wild.
I mean,
But I'm really glad. I can't wait. Is there something in particular you really want to see this weekend, or do, or have you already done it? And if you say the drive here,
no.
That right there is a nightmare.
Yes, it is. I warned him about that.
The highways at night are a little bit different than Ohio's.
They're better than they are during the day.
Right.
Honestly, I'm excited to go through Hell's Gate tonight.
Right.
I've not been through any Chicago area haunts, and it'll actually be his first convention bus tour. So he'll get a experience with that.
Nice. Now, before we go any farther, I feel like Jenny is being like this little kid, not putting her hand up, but she is so excited. She's like, I want to say something.
Just hop in there.
Well, you guys were talking about my haunts, and the closest one to me is the Texas Maze of Terror in Vidor. That is going to be the first one I go to because I've only got 3 that's within driving distance that doesn't take me like 3 hours away. So I was going to go to Vidor, go back to the haunted jailhouse, and see about the other one because I don't really know much about that. But still, those I wanted to highlight here. The Gothic haunted jail in it's not Beaumont, but that one and the Texas Maze of Terror I wanted people to know about. So yeah, if you're in Texas closer to the Newton area, go there.
And if you're Texas and you are a haunter or a haunt owner and you're watching this, get a hold of us because we want to talk to you. There's not a single haunt I don't want to talk to. I've sent requests out to haunts and I've not got them back. And it's okay because the haunt industry is very busy.
Yeah.
But as you can tell, I love haunts so much. Raz loves talking about haunts. Friday, just can't wait until the fun Fridays, which we do Chainer's Haunted Secrets. I mean, the other Fridays are fun because it's Friday up there. But when it comes to MHC, this is one of the things that makes it so awesome. You get to see people, you get to talk to them. They get French fries brought right to the room because honestly,
we need to eat.
Yeah.
Especially before a bus tour.
Yes, we got a bus tour tonight, and she's reminding me that we've got to get off here and we need to get some food. So
yeah,
we're going to make sure.
There's going to be drinking involved. What a shock.
I'm not drinking.
I know you aren't.
So you guys all have yourself a good one. Thank you for joining us. We can't wait to show you everything. So, Raz, where can we find you?
You can find me at rastslasher.com. You can find me in Hell's Dungeon. We got another hiring event coming up in 2 weeks on a Sunday from 1 to 6 p.m. You can also find me on all your favorite social media platforms. Just so you know, when you message me on all of those social media platforms, you're going to be talking to the #1 cosplayer for Slasher in the world, and that's Jenny. She handles most of my social medias. You can also find me on the Slasher app or the Slasher computer social media site. That is me handling that. Otherwise, you can find me at your mom's house tomorrow morning. I'm there for the pancakes.
All right.
Ooh, pancakes.
We got waffles here. Friday, where can we find you other than constantly in the cemetery checking out all the tombstones?
You can find me on just about any social media. If you type in Allight or Fakor or Friday with the Library in the Blue Box or Jennifer Elliott, and I'll talk to you there.
All right. So where can we find you?
I'm with on the LHA Facebook page for my home hunt. If you go to Cobwebs and Broomsticks on Facebook, it's Cobwebs and Broomsticks Cemetery. That'll pull me up. And then just Nikki Hook will pull me up as well.
What about you? Do you want to be contacted?
I'll be at home in my bathrobe, sipping on whiskey.
Till I force him to work.
So before I go and we do this sign off, Raz, we've got a book or something going on, right?
Yeah, we have the first ever Outlight Menagerie. It's a combination of authors that are hosts ourselves, like me and Jenny. We got Dell, Mariah, we have Ron, we have Jason, and a lot of our amazing guests that we've had. Actually, Rob Smales is technically a co-host and a guest, and of course the amazing Steve Ann Sampson and others. Now we are doing a sort of a big charity event with that. We're working with Pro Literacy. Every adult has the right to literacy. It's an amazing charity devoted to obviously helping adult literacy. And 100% of all of our proceeds for the first whole year are going to them, every penny. We are coming out of pocket for all the fees to make the book and to do everything just to be able to donate as much as we can. We have by the time this video comes out, we'll have already done the party tomorrow night. But you guys can pick this up. We have links everywhere. We have physical copies, e-copies. Right now, you can get the e-copy and the paperback. Hopefully, by the time this video comes out, the hardback will be released as well. So definitely make sure you guys check that out. And did I miss anything on that, Jenny? Because I might have.
No, you got everything, I think.
All right. If not, I'll edit it later.
All right. Well, as we got to get off of here right now, we're going to say goodbye. But it's never truly goodbye because at MHC, you're going to wait for all the fun stuff that's going to happen here in the next few minutes, hours, days, because we're going to bring to you a whole bunch of videos, a whole bunch of wonderful photos, because I want you guys to go out and if you don't go to this convention, go to a different convention. But you guys all have a great one, and thank you for joining me on this wonderful adventure.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all of the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Door King Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
Hello, and welcome to my corner of the freak show. This is Chainer's Haunted Secrets, and today, once again, we have our wonderful crew of Dr. Raz. We have Friday. We have Ron joining us today, and we have a wonderful special guest here at MHC, and this is my dear friend Kevin. And dude, I am bad with last names. Say your last name correctly.
Bigsaki.
Bigsaki.
There you go.
You know what? I'm glad that every single person, I've asked them how to say it correctly on the show, just because I'm going to butcher it. It's more than 3 letters, and we all know I can't do more than that. But that's not the reason that we are here. We are here to talk about the haunted industry. And you know what? You've got something amazing that deals with the haunted industry.
We try, yeah. We did this year and every year at MHC. We just completed it just now. Was our zombie walk. We've done the zombie walk here ever since it's been in Rosemont for the past 3 years. We pride on it. In the past, the zombie walk has always been downtown Chicago, pre-COVID. Problem is that's what kind of hurt us a little bit, where we were able to be in the city, we joined together in the park, we go down Michigan Avenue, up around Daly Center and back. And it was a good couple hours. We take a break here and there and just talk and chat with a lot of haunt enthusiasts, haunt actors, those that just, families that love zombies, I guess. And that happened, and we slowly had to not have a group outing as much. And on top of that, with some of the things happening in the city of Chicago, they put fences up and gates up, or, they have their fests, their Palooza and, Taste of Chicago and other fests that happen again, where they start fencing in parks and zones. So it got harder and harder. The awesome people at Trans World, when they were bringing MHC MHC into Chicago, reached out to us and knew that we did the zombie walk, and we knew that, this would be a perfect fit. And we said, yeah, we'll definitely start doing the zombie walk each year. We do it on Saturdays. Around the time the show closes, the times differ depending on, but we try to do it after the show. Each year, like I said, each year is different. So, but we get the people together. They're already here. A lot of them are already here at MHC, so they're already on site. Others, since it is a free event, it's not ticketed. It's not part of the MHC, but it's added with MHC as an event. So anyone can join at any time. If you're, the Rosemont area, or traveling, or you just want to kind of come up here to enjoy the sights of the local restaurants and stuff they have here nowadays, We invite everybody, every year to just join us. We start at the Downey Stevens Convention Center, right at the front zone. We get together in all our zombie glory and head out. It's today, it was a little rainy, but we fought through it okay. We usually have anywhere from, on average, the past few years, about 50 odd people, maybe 50 between 60. It was a thin group this year because the rain did kind of hurt us a little, but there was a lot of people that still wanted to do it. And, we went ahead and stayed in a little bit of that rain. Now, I would never put them in a danger. So if it was torrential rain or hard winds, we probably would have canceled. And we never had to cancel any for rain in years. For the 15 plus years this has been going on, we've had overcast and very, very hot days. This is the first time I think that we ever matched up with a rain situation. So I'm very happy that, people did still want to do it, and we're all done. We're happy with that for this year.
So the one thing I got to know, as you're here in Chicago area and you're just absolutely taking this horde of zombies through, what is some of the reactions for people that have no idea what is going on?
Oh, the stories. And this is another reason why we get so many repeats and so many people do it every year. A lot of regulars is the reaction. Mm-hmm. Is the reaction we get from the norms or normals or normies or whoever people call muggles too. So however you want to look at it. But first few reactions, or sometimes you overhear people say, "Are they filming a movie?" Or or what's going on, or what the hell did I just see? We get a lot of those comments from some people. I've had a few of the members just recently tell me that in the March, they would say they would bring their child back or hold on to their child to protect them a little bit from the group. Especially when we did in the city of Chicago, like right now, like I said, we're doing it in Rosemont, and we do the entertainment district. So we do a loop around there. So it's still funny to watch people, waiting for the comedy show to start at Zany's, or they're waiting for their table at the restaurant or something. But in Chicago, we had a really fun time with weddings and quinceañeras for their photos. That was one of our favorite things and one of our fondest memories. That while we did walk around, so of course people would take their photos like along Michigan Avenue, by the bridge, other areas that were very photographic for these groups of people. Like I said, for the overlooking, by the bean, so they're taking a picture of their, children at the quinceañera, and they would invite some of the zombies, like, "Oh, you got to be part of this photo," and the child was like, "Yeah, I don't need this." The parents love it. Weddings, we've had a lot of brides, say, "Oh, pick out a couple zombies, say, you got to stand here with us," and it's a photo op for everybody, and it's a great time for the people that participate. For that main reason, they're in someone's wedding album as a zombie, and to this day, we will never see, because we don't, never contacted. We don't know the people that took these photos, but to this day, they're just, I know I'm in someone's photo album, and I'm sure one of their family members had gone through it and said, "Okay, what is this about?" And it's a great shock. It's fun.
So another thing, you just brought up photos. If people find this and they start taking photos, is it something that you want the photos?
Oh, it'd be great. Yeah. I mean, we do have a Facebook page, Chicago Zombie March. And if anyone out there does listen or finds out that there are photos of the Chicago Zombie March in any era, time, video, anything like that, to contact us or send it to us or do something, because every year here at MHC also, I combine all the photos that we take and videos, not all, but as best as many videos as we take or receive, and then I just put it in a slideshow for people to watch while we're here at our booth. But yeah, there's a lot of times, like you said, we don't know who took a lot of the photos. Sometimes there's a lot of great photographers out there that we know are showing up. We've always advertised, hey, let us know, drop us your card, share your photos with our page. But there's a lot more people out there that just out in there just taking weird photos of zombies walking around, don't know us, but yet it's still kind of fun to see. There's been so many great photographers and so many. One of my other favorite stories about that is since we post all the information on the Facebook page mostly, we had, I think the second year we did it here at Rosemont, We had a bunch of cosplayers, and they were zombie hunters or survivors from the zombie apocalypse. So we always post our path on what's expected. So in case someone is late, they kind of know where to head up with us or where we're going to be. And they actually waited around the corner right at the entertainment district, and then they were doing their running or staying away. So the photographer was further back. There were actors and there's cosplayers in the middle. So as we come to the corner, they're filming and taking video and the photos. So the unlikely horde that came through there is added. So I haven't seen those photos yet. I know they're supposed to let us know, but again, it's those surprises that get us, that we love. Everyone's involved. You don't have to be a zombie. We have clowns sometimes. We have vampires sometimes. Frankenstein's monster sometimes.
I didn't know this part of it, so maybe if I do get back to MHC, and I know that you've already told me I'm coming back.
You're coming back, yeah.
But maybe Chainer, because he is a doomsday prepper, and he is actually a hunter. So maybe my character needs to partner up with you guys.
That sounds great.
I just need to make sure that I'm off my feet. That way I don't make myself really painful going down your trail there.
Exactly. We're not. I mean, the trail itself normally is not even just under a mile long. We take the normal long way around. Like I said, this year we had that little bit of rain, so we shortened it. Our travel is about under an hour also, with a couple photo ops and some stops, but not much. But yeah, we went straight through the garage from the convention center, did our one simple round of the entertainment district, and then we got back. So that was about maybe a half hour's time. It's not as glorious as going past some of the hotels and some of the restaurants. But, again, with the rain, I didn't want anybody being out there as long, as they normally are. It's always been sunny. We've always been very, very lucky to get great weather.
And as much rain as we did experience here, it still was not nearly as bad as what it could have been. In fact, I looked at the radar to think of what time it was, and it was supposed to be a lot heavier rain, and it wasn't. So I'm glad that you guys do take that into consideration. I'm glad that you guys do have a second plan B for this.
Mm-hmm.
And, here we are at MHC, so I'm going to ask you a few things real quick on MHC.
Let's go for it.
What is one of the best things about MHC that you have? I mean, how many years have you been at MHC?
I've been at MHC since it came to Chicago.
Okay.
I have not gotten a chance when it was in Ohio. I was never able to experience that out that way. But I've been to when it first came to Schaumburg, and then here in Rosemont. I like the fact right now I'm finding out that they expanded a little bit more. They also I have to track back because I was also there when it was in Milwaukee. The one time. So like I said, the other times it had not been Ohio. I had tried those other locations. I had to track back. Sorry. But going back to what I was saying, the show had expanded, and it looked like every booth was full. Looks like, I think they're going to maybe hopefully expand again next year, because each year they kept adding more room, more booths. Mm-hmm. And just like, Transworld out in St. Louis, when they do that, they had one center, they have one section. They have a second hall, they have the third hall, they had a Christmas, fourth, fifth hall.
Right.
I'm hoping that, they're expanding in Rosemont here just the same, and adding another hall or expanding to another section to get larger and larger each time.
Well, this year, compared to last year I didn't see it, but this year I surely did. They actually have a booth that is Christmas.
Yeah,
I would never thought I was seeing it, but yeah, it's got different stuff that you can purchase for Mrs. Claus, and it's got the little Grinch, baby Grinch that they're selling, and that's awesome because MHC, even though it's Midwest Hunters Convention, if it expands, you know what? That's not a bad thing because we do all enjoy these other holidays, but our passion lies with that one time of the year where you can make somebody scream. Well, in your case, I mean, as you're walking through, you ever had anybody scream as you guys are going through?
No, just a lot of gasps and a lot of weird looks. I don't think we've ever had a scream before. I mean, maybe someone might have again, maybe a deep gasp or a freak out session as they're coming around the corner and just see us. They, that shock of just being there. But I've never really had anyone like scream at us because, we are zombies. We are a horde. We are moving fairly slowly. We're not your 28 days style, but we are there. So it's just kind of funny that we do get, like I said, it's fun to watch people's faces when they're not expecting it. And with Christmas and with the Christmas theory and having booths is great because a lot of haunters do use some methods and that Christmas people really rely on, like a lot of the pixels or other multi-lights that they like to use. Just they use the purples and the blues more than the greens and the reds. So.
Right. So now that we're talking about MHC a little more, what's something that you've seen come through? Because today was officially the first day.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, we still got Sunday, which, what did you like seeing while you were at your booth today going past? Because I don't know, did you get to go and walk around too much?
I did not get a full chance to walk around. I mean, I do know the vendors that were here. I do know who was on the floor today in general. I mean, there's a lot of things I am missing because I didn't get to leave my booth at all. I mean, sitting at my booth, though, of course, I was across from the CHB, Chicago Haunt Builders Haunted House.
I did not get to go. There's actually a haunted house in this convention, and I've not gone through yet this year. Last year, it was Sunday, and I realized, I was like, what are they doing over there? Oh, it's a haunted house with actors. And they said, yeah. I said, wow. And it was kind of funny because they had a drop panel, and you could tell when the drop panel, because that would be the main thing that would get somebody to go, oh gosh, constantly. You'd hear slam, oh gosh. And you know what? That's great because I didn't expect there to be a haunted house. So I know I got to go through tomorrow because tomorrow's the last day and it will disappear once again.
And get rebuilt. Yeah. As a member of the Chicago Haunt Builders also, I'm here at MHC for the Chicago Zombie March, but as a member and I can say for a fact that everybody involved really worked hard at it. It is funny to see the facade and everything they do, and then the line of people just waiting to walk into that haunt. That everything was made by home haunters, people that do yard displays. It's such a large group, but I'm sure that's something to expand on at another time about that group. But
I absolutely want them to come on here. I got to sit down. We got to talk because even though it won't be done on this nice blue couch, it's going to be one. Nice. It is a nice couch. You know what? These hotel rooms, this is kind of nice. But I just seriously want them to come on here because that's pretty awesome that you guys have such a group that can put together a haunted house in one day and then operate it for 2 days. And then on the second day, it disappears.
Right. And so every item or product is donated or not donated, but lent, or they bring their products or whatever they built. Cheryl has the statuettes that she brought in from her projects that she works on. Everyone, we do make and take. So there's the different zombies or the groundbreakers, using your standard, wiper motor. There's all the props that people have built on their own, and they just bring a little bit of thing for each room. Jake's Palace, he comes in and he trains the children. The children do their ghoul school here at MHC, and they are now having given the opportunity to work in our haunted house or the CHB's haunted house to scare the guests or the other people. So they're learning, professional scare acting, and they're doing it in a real situation, and not just some backyard, but in a haunted house that these people put together. And they spend a lot of time, bringing the panels in, moving it around, designing the path, the maze, all that. So every member involved really, needs their pat on the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were here at 8 this morning. Yeah, no, yesterday. Sorry, yesterday was loaded. They were here at 8 in the morning, loading up and setting it up, getting it. There's also the facade and there's the outside zone. I know you saw the graveyard outside, so you're not just walking in the front panel facade.
No,
you're walking through a little fenced area with the graveyard on each side of you.
And I'm going to talk to him tomorrow and see if it's okay that I go through and actually film it. Because I know some haunts, oh no, but home haunters are usually like, yeah, please show off our stuff.
Please film it because,
and we're going to show it here. We're going to show it here because I want to go ahead and get it filmed, and then we'll show it here because it is such a great thing. And as you can see, these guys are not here. Dr. Rez is not here. Friday's not here. Ron's never here. Ron's in another dimension or a padded cell behind him. But it is one of those things that I can't wait to go ahead and bring a little MHC to these guys because I don't think any of you guys have been to MHC, right?
Where did I get the shirt?
I don't know.
Yes, I've been to MHC. 2013 was my first year. I went 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And then it moved to Illinois. 18 was the first year it moved to Illinois. So that was the last year that I went, and I haven't been since.
So you went to the one in Columbus?
Correct.
Okay. So, yeah.
I was going to say, since I've never been to Columbus, I don't know the difference, how it's changed.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Honestly, last year was my first year coming to MHC. I was so excited, and there were so many people coming up, giving me hugs that were starting to know me. People were playing pranks on other haunters, saying that I was somebody pretty important. They all lied to the poor haunters because they're coming up and saying, I heard that you're Pyle. And I start getting a little bigger at MHC, which, I like being bigger, but I can't get too much bigger because my doctor has told me I need to start slimming down.
But my favorite part right now at MHC is not only appreciate us doing the walk and kind of keeping that alive, but it's the fans. Like, if we didn't do it just not for us, we do it for everybody, and they do it for everybody else. Like you said, they like the reaction from the people. The vendors that are here, they do so many other shows. Some of these vendors I've seen, like Froggy's Frog, and like they're 1 month they're here, another month, a couple of weeks they're here. A couple of them right now they're going to be shipping out early and keeping a couple of people working here while they do and get ready for another convention coming up next week.
Yep.
So there are some really hardworking people. Of course, we have which is a lot of fun, is Haunters Row. They have that set up so the local haunted houses are here, so they have their own little zone, just like Chicago Haunt Builders have a booth. Chicago Zombie March has a booth. Ohio Haunters Association has a booth. But plus, now you have the other haunted houses that's in one little zone right by the stage, so people can see what other haunted houses are out there if they're only familiar with, like, say, just the South Side,
right?
Or anywhere that might be, So that's good because their actors get to play around and be with the guests, and people get to take pictures with their icon actors just the same. So like any other location or
Now I got to go to Hell's Gate last night, and when I went, it was wonderful. I asked you, you said no, and then you're like, I live here. Well, yeah, I guess it makes sense. You don't go to some of this because you live here.
Well, yeah, not for the convention, right?
Oh, I
go during season, right? So,
right.
Just like I'd like to go check out a lot of haunts in Ohio, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen, and there's a good amount of them there that I am hearing a lot of great things about. I know a few people that work at a few of these haunts that I need to visit, So I need, I think there's a bus tour I might need to join real soon.
And you know what? I've already talked to a couple of people, and I talked to a couple of the Trans World staff, and I've already talked to them and said, yeah, I need to purchase this ticket and get this ticket. And it's a $300+ ticket, but it goes through some amazing haunts in the Ohio area. But Trans World Legend, I think that's what the bus
The
tour.
Legendary Tours.
The Legendary Tour. Trans World's Legendary Tour, it travels around the country, which is great because a couple months ago we had Troy on here, and Troy was talking about his tours and how he moves around and he does this and that, and that's great. And there is another tour that was giving me stuff And they were even talking about how they do it, and they do it about 50 people on a bus, and that's as many people as they can do it. And each week they go to a different haunt, and that's a wonderful thing. I mean, some people, they just don't like driving, so if you can get to the locations where these buses are leaving, it is so much better, because then you can relax, enjoy yourself, come back, and you're nice and safe. And some of these tours are sippy sip as you go through.
Exactly.
So you might not remember anything.
Hopefully you do remember everything. And that's the thing, too, I noticed with Legendary and a few tours, even last night with the Hell's Gate and some, that you can drive yourself and save money on the ticket, but you're also driving yourself. So then you have to drive the distance or take the bus, where you can just relax and sit the whole time, maybe take a little nap or talk to your friends the whole time. So I like when these bus tours or certain ones have that second drive yourself option. You know, just be here by this time. You're part of the group, but we also leave at this time. So, you know, they have to make sure they're driving. Their schedule's the same as the bus, hopefully.
Right. So I can see Friday there. She's jumping in her seat. She is ready. Friday, calm down. If you got something to say, go ahead, say something here.
Oh, one of my the top question that's come to mind is, of all the scenes that you've built for the haunts you've made, whether it be a short time haunt or happens every year, which one has brought you the most fun or glee?
For me, for myself, my yard display. I just do a yard display. I don't do a home haunt or anything like that. But I think it was what we recently did with me and my wife is we did a scene for and with the anticipation of the second season of Wednesday. So my wife had a vision of doing the dorm room stained glass window. And of course, as a Chicago haunt builder, we try to save money, you know, because we're individual people. We do our own yard displays, we do our own home haunts, but we do our group builds together. You know, we do communicate a lot on Facebook. Everyone's very helpful, but we also tell people, hey, there's some mannequins here in the dumpster behind, in this mall, because we share some of that info because that is fun. So my wife did find a couple children mannequins. And she went to the Goodwill store and found some clothing that resembled, the Wednesday character and our roommate's character. And with that, we're a very frugal group also. We try to save money when we can.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we had the group builds. But I think my favorite was the small Wednesday display we made by in our porch patio area.
Right.
I mean, my yard display itself is the Crypto Kendall Ridge. So it's almost all zombies, almost all skeletons, almost tombstones. I had a couple things here, but this was a different for me because it was themed and it was not a zombie. I always do zombie work. So
I'm starting to believe that you really like zombies.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about zombies. We have our lead walker today was Zamador Borowski, or Besowowski. I kind of change his name every once in a while, but that is Zom. Zom's short for Zamador, and of course his last initial B, so he is Zom B on his name tag. Yeah. And he's designed kind of died he's got a backstory, of course. So what character doesn't? He died in 1978 in Chicago, the giant snowstorm, and he got brought back alive in the late 2000s, and he can't figure out all this new technology and what's going on in the world today. He's just mesmerized by the Buck Roger computers that people have in their hands at all times, and their Star Trek communicators that they can just call somebody right there and then, and without dialing it on the phone, or going to the payphone and dialing somebody when they're out and about in the middle of town. So yeah, Zamador has a lot of issues with today's technology. Still can't understand it, but he's adapting.
Is that why you got the briefcase?
That's another reason why I have the briefcase. I have the briefcase for another reason too, by the way.
This briefcase is like a briefcase that you would have got
Samsonite
back in the 70s, 80s.
Fantastic.
This thing looks like You hit somebody with that thing, and they're going out worse than a MAC or a MM. Yeah, one of the wrestling people. I don't wrestle. I'm
Cage
sure.
match. I don't know.
Yeah.
MMAs.
MMAs. That's too many damn letters.
Well, no, but this is a fantastic thing, and I brought you something we need to share tonight.
Oh.
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 Because I don't think I got you last year.
No,
we
you
were
didn't.
able to say welcome to Chicago.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, that's pretty
Sanitize
awesome
for your protection.
See, this is what happens at MHC. We get to communicate, we get to talk, we get just enjoy each other's company because that's what we want to do. We want to enjoy each other, and from hunters to hunters and this and that. But I will tell you, MHC is one of the best places that I have been. That has been wonderful. I'll put that right there. That way I don't spill it right off the bat.
No, we're fine. So a little Chicago Malort.
Ah, nice.
For us to try, or for me, not me to try, because I kind of drink this in a standard, but
all right,
for you to try and to say to welcome to the Chicagoland area by sharing a shot of Malort with me.
Oh wow, that's awesome. But
are you familiar?
No, I am not familiar with that.
Is any of the audience here with us today familiar with our legendary Malort?
I can't say that I am.
Okay, I'm just gonna just tell you a little bit about it first. It is a botanical liqueur. It's the best I can say. A lot of people MF it left and right because it has an acquired taste, but it's also a kind of a legendary staple in our area. Not everybody loves it. You know, most people, if you ever do any research or Google, will say it. I will be honest with you. A lot of people say it might taste like dirty grass clippings mixed with mud. So I'm not saying this is an awful drink. It's more of an acquired taste, but also revered amongst a lot of other people.
Okay.
I just want to prepare you. Much like I was talking to another gentleman today, we agreed that if absinthe was Santa Claus, your Malort is your Krampus. So, I mean, we agreed that would probably be the best way to describe it to almost anybody.
Yeah. Well, I will get a hold of this here in a sec, but that is very interesting. Jenny, you look like you got another question before I get into some dirt and grass clippings.
Oh, before the dirty glass clipping, I was just saying I have my own that is gray that is like it looks so similar. You can't.
Yeah, right.
Does it come with dirty grass clippings?
Does it have dirty grass clipping? You got the little pouch and everything. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see it now. I was looking at it. So yeah, I mean, you know, your whatever straps to hold your clothes in, I guess, so your clothes don't get away or something. Whatever this, you know, whatever this was about. I mean, when they designed luggage back then, it was pretty crazy, pretty wild. But you know, you can go through Midway Airport with this, and no one is going to destroy this. I mean, you know, you've got to really jump on top of it to really do some damage to this case.
And it's funny because it almost disappears into the couch.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that just now.
So, what do you got on Wednesday? And then it kind of looks like Raz is kind of.
She got her like olive green.
It's
yeah,
great.
it blended into the background at first. Yeah.
It's
so now I'm going to ask Raz. Raz looks like he's got something in it, twinkling in his eye there.
Well, Jenny's trying to show us the briefcase right now.
Oh, just random props and things.
Well, yeah, you gotta have
but I'm
random
like,
stuff.
ooh, somebody has one just like me.
No, I was going to say that liquor sounds like if you were to take all the worst flavor options of the Bernie Bott's flavored beans, put them into a blender and add alcohol, it sounds like it would taste like that.
That's very possible. I'll go with that.
I don't know. I like moonshine, so you know it can't be as rough as moonshine.
Well, no, a good a good apple pie moonshine tastes good is the thing.
No.
Like, and
Mine,
go ahead.
mine is straight moonshine.
That's
No
fine
flavor.
too. But that doesn't taste like grass clippings and things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. It's not your white lightning. No, it's not. But like I said, it's because it is distilled here in in Chicago. It was brought over by I believe a Norwegian or some sort of European immigrant that made his name here. So that's the Jefferson's name, Jefferson's Malort. And it's got your ingredients, but like I said, there's a lot of debate, and a lot of people always say no because of its unique taste and flavor.
I would definitely try it. So, like, I don't like absinthe, so that's something that I would definitely try. I don't know if I would like it or not, but I would definitely try it.
I brought it to Texas last year. I brought it to Texas Hunters Convention, and there was like 3 people actually liked it, like really enjoyed it. Like I drink it, and like I may not enjoy it like a whiskey or something. I enjoy whiskey better than most things, but he really liked it because it's different flavor. And
I've got some bourbon down on seventh floor that's been calling my name because it came from one of the. It's a private collection from one of the sellers here.
Oh, that does sound good.
Yeah, in fact he said he was going to smoke the bourbon.
Ooh, yeah, that's always good if you have a nice smoker with that.
He's just got to do it in the bathroom, so the fire alarm doesn't go off.
Exactly. Or you just like run downstairs real quick or something. I don't know, because if it's one of those cool smokers I know of that can kind of keep it capped, that way he can always bring it back and smoked, and it's capped up the whole time.
Oh, yeah. So now, Ron, with a twinkle in your eye, you look like you got a question or a comment here, buddy.
I have several questions, actually, that I was just curious about. And Kevin, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but I was curious about the history of the zombie walk, and if you know how it actually began. What was the events that led up to the formation of the zombie walk in general?
I don't have all the details. Usually, I joined the Zombie March about 5. Okay, that's a fun question because the originators, when they got it off another group, but that was good 15 odd years ago. They're not available at the moment. But when I joined was about another 10 to 12 years. So I kind of joined in after they originally started. And I only joined in because I heard about it through, well, I'm dating myself now, only through the age, but the fact that it was on MySpace at the time. But
we won't hold it against you.
No, at least I'm not the only one. But so I found out through that and through them, and I'm like, this is kind of fun. This is cool. I love Halloween. I like dressing up, and why not just dress up as a zombie in the summer and walking through Chicago? So that's when I joined as a participant. Then years later, and I helped with the group, became part of the group, helped like kind of just be there as a cheerleader of sorts, constantly be there, for them and repeat, and on Facebook and repeat all the information out there and just help share the details. And then when MHC came by, I talked to them and took the MHC reins part of Zombie March. The Zombie March, I know we'll come back to Chicago. Hopefully everybody will get back together then and there. But again, when the time happened during COVID, there was a big gap and a big stop of everything because the originators, obviously, there was a smart move to people putting makeup on each other and being close together, and at the time was not the best.
All right,
and you keep looking at that because
I do. But you said makeup, and I got some makeup from Bloody Mary today, so I'm going to try some stuff.
All right, and, next question.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, if you had more to say about that, go ahead. But the next question is, you said that the trail that you do is about a little under a mile long, and it takes about a half an hour. Is that hard to do, wearing like complete zombie makeup and costume and all that?
No, not really. I mean, because the path we take, obviously, the Rosemont area, if you're not familiar, actually, before Trans World trade show was in St. Louis. It actually started here in Chicago in the Donald E. Stevens in Rosemont. At that time, also there was nothing. So when someone visited this area, there was no restaurant. Your restaurant or food options was the hotel, and if that hotel had a bar or a restaurant or some sort of food, it was very minimal. But now they had that entertainment district they added and everything else. So our main path would go from one side of the entertainment district and then to the other. So our path would be along some other hotels in the area, but that's where the fun begins, and the people see us come out of nowhere around the corner into by the movie theater and then the restaurants and the bars. We make our loop. We kind of go back along a busy road against some more restaurants and back to the convention center. So that less under a mile. And like I said, usually about a 40 minutes, sometimes 45. Sometimes we'll take a stop for photos or traffic. If obviously if it's a red light, we don't cross against the red. We don't jaywalk, you can say. And if a group gets split up because the light had turned on us, we'll slowly move even slower than normal, so the other group can then safely cross when it's safe for them to cross. And that's why it takes about maybe just under an hour, because if we hit the red lights weird or if our group ever gets split up. But the main fun part of it, like I said, is when we do the entertainment district and do that walk. That might last a total of, I never really timed it, but it'd be almost a 20-minute little bit around. So, the way this area is set up, it's not in the middle of a downtown or busy area, but we have to travel to it a little bit and then we come back. So, yeah, I mean, the people involved, they get jazzed about it. So any makeup or anything they do, they like wearing it because they know it's, even if it's, weighted on them or if they're sweating or heavy clothes, they know they're going to be coming back to the convention center and tear it all off immediately if they really have to. But they are having a good time with that. So like I said, it's not like any hot actor out there. When you're acting, you're wearing a silicone mask or makeup on that's insane. It's you're there for the fun and you're there for the time being. Most people do wear things comfortably and it doesn't bother them, but it's not too taxing on anybody.
No, you said
as you can see, it is food time. The Gazelle has just ran through, or at this point, it's a chicken hawk because she just got a brand new mask. She got a chicken hawk mask today.
That's cool.
And tonight is a costume ball here at MHC.
Yeah, the costume ball is gonna be fun and interesting. I'm not wearing anything special today this time around, but sometimes the costume ball is a little more fun to watch than just the show floor. The show floor is a lot of great costumes. People do walk around and see the booths, but some people kind of leave the floor early and now they're doing their tailoring, finishing their touches. They're getting everything ready because they want to be part of that contest or that competition for that reason. But yeah, just like anything else, like I know that the one in St. Louis Trans World is more just some haunters and haunt owners have a little more fun.
Right.
This here now is serious. This is a pretty serious game tonight. So I think we're going to see some really cool costumes. So hopefully we'll get a lot of photos. We'll post it on our page, or MHC will post the winners and post photos from their page. But yeah, no, it gets pretty serious here. I don't know if there's any other conventions that have the haunt conventions that have so many haunt or contests.
I don't know. Last year I went. I started looking at a lot of different people. They said, "Hey, anybody that wants to go for the competition, please do." Sorry. I thought my phone was turned off. The chicken hawk didn't turn my phone off. She's been waiting for the KFC to arrive. Anyway, but no, going back to this party, last year I went and it was pretty awesome to see some of the characters come out, this and that. Now, it's not all small characters. No, these are sometimes big characters. Some of the main characters from some of the haunts come here just to show off their costume. And some of the costumes, you actually kind of look at it and really scratch your head because you don't know what everything that they're trying to do is. And then you get about 15 minutes and someone else has figured out the mystery of this costume.
Yeah.
Because there was one last year that I was like, I have no idea.
Was it
You're noisy.
Was it the viral one, the big chicken looking?
It was something.
I know I've seen them. They went really viral because it was a very unique costume.
Yeah.
It was like a chicken, vulture, hawkish kind of character on two legs. I know I saw that a lot, and then I saw that photo at another haunt convention like later in the year or something. So I don't know who actually did that one, but I know that made its rounds on the internet a lot. It's a really interesting costume because that was not a puppy or a dog. That was just a straw going to a cup. Because that was a very interesting yelp sound. But yeah, there's I know Teddy. He now works with Dark Hour. Years ago, he was here. He had a very elaborate costume on with flagpole staff holders and a big hat and things hanging down and the staff. And, I can't wait to see what happens tonight. It does get really interesting. And a lot of these people will go to the next convention, or they've been to East Coast and the new East Coast haunters, and they'll bring those costumes in, and it's something to look at. So,
and one of the wonderful things is they actually have a MHC backdrop that they want every single character to go and be in front of, and they want to take a photo of these characters, be it big stars or be it small stars, just so they can see who's all coming and kind of showcase all these. Because I'll tell you what, some of these are like professional. I paid thousands of dollars to get this costume or more sometimes.
Yes.
And then you get mine that just looks like I'm a gardener's outfit.
But that's okay. That's what you did, and that's what you want to do.
Right.
Some people spend more time, more money on it, and like a lot of us here in the local area in Chicago, as a actor or as if you're building or creating something, we all start somewhere. Not everybody's going to have a fantastic stilt walking costume with wings that expand on your first day when you're first doing this. We all look at that. We all start somewhere. Haunt owners were they had their home haunts back then, and some guy's garage or pathway in their backyard became one of the largest or most known haunts in the Chicagoland area, because now they have a big pole barn building and staff to work it.
So I will tell you, it is so amazing going to this, because you have the thousands of dollars, or you have somebody that shows up in a T-Rex inflatable right beside a Godzilla inflatable, right beside the Triceratops, and they're all dancing at this ball, and everything's going back and forth. And then the T-Rex and the Godzilla go after it. One deflates, one re-inflates. And it's pure entertainment just to watch people enjoy themselves, laying loose. And this is something that MHC has and offers it. And I'm just glad I get to go to it once again, because I don't know what I'm going to see. Last year, I do believe that there was one person that was walking in. No one exactly knew what it was. And as soon as the lights got really dark, she turned it on, and it actually had a whole bunch of LEDs all the way through it. And I do think that was a wing set.
So like you said, you have so many different styles of costumes here, and it's just fun to see what people come up with. Like I said, people it's for the, they have the passion, and that's the thing about the haunt industry. You're better at it when you have passion.
Right.
Don't be stressed. Don't think that you need to have this costume or you need to act a certain way. If you're good because you're good at, you like doing it, you're not trying to do it. And I think that's like everybody I talk to. Like, if you like doing it, then keep doing what you're doing. Don't try to do someone else's bit or costume or acting style. Do what works for you and what you're most comfortable in, and you'll excel. Just takes time, like drawing, art, other things. It just takes practice, and the more you do it, the better you just get at it.
you just brought up something I've said for many times over. The haunt industry, people doing what we do, it is a artwork. It is something that we express ourselves in an art way. And as we go through this, I love it because it's not just a small art show. It is a big art show. And I'll tell you, I found my art teacher from years ago, and I give him tickets constantly, trying to tell him to come see my art show because the haunt is my showcase of my artwork.
Exactly. It's a unique medium. I mean, fabricators, you get your painters, your sculptors, but for fabricators, it's a little different situation.
So Friday, is that a twinkle in your eye there, sweetie?
Yes, I wanted to know what y'all's favorite costume was today.
Oh, jeez.
And we didn't start seeing them all because we got tonight still.
Yeah.
Today.
There was I did not get a picture of him because there were so many people crowding around him, but there was actually a character he could get smoke to come out of the back of his costume.
Okay.
He had one eye, and it had a green light right there through the looking glass that he had.
Gotcha. So I went today, walk around, but I didn't get to interact with him much until I was in the elevator with him. Same thing, the LED eyes were set back, so it's more of a not a dim, but a life behind that mask, and a voice modulator.
Right.
A lot of people use squeakers and other forms of communication. He had a voice modulator and a lot of trinkets and things hanging down on the sides. So again, it's the detail of the nonsense that people do, but it had two eyes. It wasn't a single eye.
Right. I want to take that comment back. I want to take the comment back. There is one that towards the end I absolutely stopped and I said, okay. And it was after I was talking to you. It was actually one of your zombies.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Which one?
It was the little girl that was playing, I think, Penelope.
Oh, yeah.
That was a zombie.
She was doing little glitch zombie.
She was doing little glitch as a zombie. She had candy on her, and her shirt was torn up.
Wreck-It Ralph, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I was like, I did get a photo of it, so you will get to see it.
Mine were the drag queens.
Oh. So Lolly over here, that's like chomping on chicken. She was sleeping most of the second half of the event today. Apparently, the first she peopled out, but she likes to drag queen, and you will see different stuff. Drag queens. We seen last year people that was face painted like ICP people.
Yeah.
Last year, we went through Juliet Prison. Whatever haunt that they go to on Friday brings their characters to the show on Saturday. I've noticed that because some of the characters from Hell's Gate was there today. And that gives you an opportunity to see what you've seen in the dark in the daylight, because everything we know in the haunt industry looks better at night because you don't see all the flaws.
All right. Well, you mentioned that, so I will add to your conversation about how you would see one group or character or actor or something from one haunt to the other.
Right.
We have so many other, off-season haunts that, again, the Chicagoland area, you can go to a haunted house within a half an hour of each other, pretty much.
Right.
And a lot of times, some places will have a show for Valentine's Day. Some have a show for St. Patrick's Day, and a lot of those actors will just go to one haunt or the other and act at that for that special occasion, or Easter, and Hell's Gate, or say Disturbia is not doing a Easter one, but say Massacre is doing Easter. So a lot of their actors will try to port over there and just act for that time being, and vice versa. So that's another thing where there's a lot of transfer of actors just for those off-season or even specialty, for the convention or for tours. And they'll ask the owners, hey, if you need any more actors, I'm available if you're doing it because it's all off season.
Right.
Once the season starts, forget it. Everybody goes back to their home haunts, and that's where they're working for the rest of the year, because nobody wants to have their actors move from one to the other where it's not possible because they're open from September to part of November every weekend, and then the last couple weeks then. So, but that's the interesting part that we see here a lot of is the various different off season and the actor switches to guest act constantly.
Right, and I'll tell you, you'll find Chainer, my character, at Haunted Town Hall, Hell's Dungeon, many times over. Grandma's here at MHC. If you see me at Hell's Dungeon, I will carry 2 urns. One's got a hand in it, and one's got Grandpa in it.
Mm-hmm.
The hand is Grandma, and Grandma's actually got candy. So if you see Grandma on my hip at MHC, you just gotta ask, hey, Grandma, is there any treats for me? And I will actually give you candy. I know it kind of freaks people out when it's like, hey, I got a treat for you. And you pull Grandma out and here's Dum Dum Suckers. But I'll tell you, MHC is a wonderful thing. I've already talked to a couple of people. They're now throwing me. They want me to go down the Trans World. I've never been down the Trans World. East Coast is also something that's attached to the Trans World. I have somebody that tells me, hey, I need to go to that. I would love to go to every convention dealing with this wonderful haunted industry. I don't know if I have time. I know Troy, when we had Troy on here, he was talking about the Texas convention. And you know what? I would love to go down to Texas because if I go down to Texas, there's 2 reasons I go down there, and it's not Troy.
No, it's not.
No, we
it's not Troy.
No, I'll tell you what, you can't get a word in and on him at all.
I'm a much better guest than Troy. But in Troy's defense, he's very true. The Texas is a fun show. I was there last year. I'll be again there this year. I don't go to every convention possible because I don't got that kind of money either. But saying about the Trans World, the industry standard, that's if you've never been, again, that's just a overload sensory explosion the moment you walk in the door because you see the activity here, you times that by another 1,000 because of the larger displays and the facades and like you said, it's just I'd like to check out East Coast one year, and there's a lot of other conventions I'd really like to check out myself, but Texas is interesting too because it looks like very similar to MHC with maybe more reseller vendors, it seemed like, in that original vendors like Distortions or VFX or Hallucination Creations or those that build to sell to the public or to haunted house owners. But it when you start seeing other ones, it does get interesting. Then you can say, okay, this is more like this, or vice versa. But it's hot in Texas in July. In July, it's very, very hot.
Well, one of these days I might make it down there just to see how their convention is. I was able to pass out a whole bunch of our wonderful business cards this year. So we've got a lot of people, a lot of haunts, and a lot of haunters that are starting to really want to come on our show here. That means that one of these days we're going to have to get a big group of the clowns, and we're going to have a clown around night. And once we do the clown around night, I'm sure that there's going to be additional clown around night just because there are so many freaking clowns.
You have your horror clowns and your circus clowns and there's so many variations of that genre that you can separate it.
I do want to say that there is 2 conventions right now. One is Midwest Haunters Convention, and in the hotel that we're staying at, there's a Jesters Convention.
The Jesters Convention, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's Jesters. This is a group that's from all over, and I didn't know that they existed, but they've been really wonderful to talk to. Perhaps one of these guys are going to, start tuning in because they've been talking to us. So I'll tell you what. We're coming up to the 1 hour mark, and you know what? We're going to make this a short one. So, Raz, shall we do the honors of asking you, where can we find you?
You can find me at rastyslasher.com. You can just type my name into any old social media platform, and you're likely to talk to the best Rasty Slasher cosplay in the world. That's Jenny over here. She handles a lot of my socials. You can also find me just anywhere. Just type in my name, man. Other than that, you can find me at your mom's house tomorrow morning. I'm there for pancakes.
I tell you what, he really likes them pancakes.
Yeah.
Okay, Friday, where can we find you and not at Raz's mom's house?
No, I'm pretending to be Raz and a few other authors, and you can find me at Fakor. You can find me at Owlite. You can find me at my pages, Jennifer Elliott and Friday with the Library in the Blue Box.
All right. And we got Ron down here. Ron, you're a wonderful person. Where can we find Ron?
Just like the rest of us, you can find me on Fakor. You can also find me on Owlite as well. I do have an author page now, Ronald W. Gillespie Jr. author on Facebook. Buy my book, please. I'd really appreciate it if you did and read it. Let me know what you think. And I also make martial arts related content for TikTok. You can find me on TikTok under @WolfDojo. I am a haunter, just like Raz and Pyle over there. I do work here in Ohio, so come out to the haunt. You can probably find me there as well. And if none of those work, then just look behind Raz. I'm probably standing in line behind him for the pancakes.
Okay. Where can we find you?
You just go to the Facebook page for the Chicago Zombie March, follow and find that, and then next year MHC, when things start kicking in again, we'll just let people know the date, time when we're doing our march. The pathway hasn't changed much other than when it rains, but just go to the Facebook page for Chicago Zombie March, and we update as much as possible, and then off season we kind of have a little fun memes or other things in there just kind of keep us going. So
right. Oh, I'm Pyle Hazard. You can find me here on the Owlite Network on Chainers High Secrets, or one of the other ones I pop in when I got time. Because I'll tell you what, I've been pretty busy lately. Sorry about that. You can also find me on Facebook. If you want to be a friend and you want to talk to me, go ahead. Just say, hey, I want to be a friend. And that is pretty much all we got. Oh, we
need a little toast.
All right, we're going to toast. So if y'all got something to drink, bring it up. Right.
And if you need to, just find me, Kevin Bixacki, on Facebook. I friend all haunters because I want to hear their stories.
All right, we'll try this.
Salute. You ready?
1, 2, 3, down the head.
Up.
It's not bad.
Okay, it's good. You do a reaction. That's not what I expected.
That is not bad.
Yeah. And we got a reaction on video, and it was not a bad reaction.
Again, like some people like it, some people MF it left and right the moment they taste it.
So, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
sure you can't see anything right now. You've got some good weight going on, great distribution of powers, you know.